aldermen who didn't campaign on changing none of these issues. These aldermen going out who ain't do nothing about changing none of these issues. This is the political action that folks is choosing to take. These are the political actions that's chosen to be taken. As black people being murdered all over this nation, as all over this nation in different cities, black people coming out into the streets and trying to speak about this police terrorism, here they is choosing to engage in electoral politics, choosing to engage in celebratory politics of those electoral politics, which is hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. This same building, which at 4 o'clock in the morning is sending police officers out here to assault people, sending police officers out here to tear down memorials. This is what's happening with these officers. So we just want to make sure that everybody know this is what they doing. This is what they doing. Here go they metro. There go they security. There go they rent-a-cop. Here go the racist rent-a-cop. There go the racist rent-a-cop. The racist rent-a-cop. Them tax dollars getting paid to that racist rent-a-cop. He here on overtime. They hear him overtime. Metro done kill people in the city. Metro done kill people in the city. Jovan Fresco, Metro Enforcement Agency, him who he worked for, killed people in the city. So again, we out here, the police department, the police officers that's inside of there, done been complicit while people got killed in the city and got killed in these streets. So they gonna celebrate the incoming and outgoing aldermen. We gonna make sure that we raise awareness about the incoming and outgoing black and brown folks being killed out here in the streets, being falsely arrested out here in these streets, being pepper sprayed in 10 months, that done used every black person at his disposal to be a shield for his racism at every turn. This is building. This is building. This is building. So that's why we out here. There ain't no celebratory thing that happened in here. Not a single thing. Not a single thing. Ain't nothing but racist white folks in there. So don't be fooled by these Uncle Toms in these suits. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by these Uncle Toms in elected positions. Don't be fooled. Because if they cared about these people, these black and brown folks being shot down in the streets, they'll be making political actions based on that. But they not. They not. Because it's being profited off of. Because it's getting profited off of. You seen how Bill Rose, the first thing he tried to use to justify him being quiet about black people being lynched in the streets was to say he got 4 black women elected. What the fuck that do for Denzel Duvant? What the fuck that do for Tyrus Jones? What the fuck that do for Jose Gonzalez Jr.? What the fuck that do for the next black man these police officers gonna shoot in the streets? So stop letting them fool you by thinking these people who are just figureheads. That's all them black people they put in there is figureheads. They gonna continue doing the same actions no matter how many black people sit their ass up there in them city council seats until black people start bringing their black ass into the streets and saying that they not gonna stand for it no more. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by these hypocrisies. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by that. Because if they cared about these issues, this same type of involvement would happen after Denzel Duvant got beat by police. This same type of involvement would happen after Tyrus Jones got shot by police. This same type of involvement would happen after Jose Gonzalez Jr. got shot by police. This same type of involvement would happen after Jovan got shot by the metro agencies. But it don't happen because this happened when people was behooved and benefited. This happened when people can profit off of these issues. People silent, bye, have a good night. People silent off of these things when, and again, the Chad Thunberg, Todd and Kyle, all of these people have engaged in these actions repeatedly. Don't let this seem like this is some type of crazy attack or nothing like that. I want you to go back and you look at what the people who work in this building have continued to do for the past 200 days. 200 days. So I'm gonna tell you right now, they can resurrect Martin Luther King Jr. and have him be elected alderman. If they don't do something about that racist ass white mayor, it's gonna be the same shit, new day. That's it. That's it. Right after all these black people got elected, Jose Gonzalez Jr. got shot running away. Faustin Guaitigo got murdered in his home. So what them 4 new black aldermen do for that? What did they do for that? Black folks who was out there protesting last summer still facing charges. What they doing about that? Huh? What these elected officials, them being elected, how did that alter or change that? These folks in here. This building right here. it was a time, a building like this, I have a sign that said, black people enter on this door, white folks on this door. And that'll remind them Negroes where they really stand in America. But since now they done got rid of them signs, guess that wouldn't be in Illinois. It'd just be, it'd just sort of be go without saying in Illinois. But you know what I'm talking about. Irregardless of that fact, that is why this token integrationism, this change in political correctness, that is why a white man like Bill Rose, who has done nothing but use black trauma for votes, use black pain for votes, pretend to be empathetic towards black liberation and the lack of black liberation, pretend to be empathetic towards these issues for votes. But when the true issue that black people are, taken to the streets for, the true issue that black people are completely altering their lives in advocacy for, this movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, was not based on getting more libraries in black neighborhoods. Somebody tell Bill Rose crazy ass that. The Black Lives Matter movement was not about getting 4 more black people elected aldermen in fucking Rockford, Illinois. Tell Bill Rose and these racist ass white people that. As long as y'all continue, and again, the reason that white man could pull up in his truck and have the nerve, as I'm speaking about black people being killed and assaulted, the reason he can have the nerve to bring up some damn libraries, to bring up some damn aldermen being elected, is because the type of black folks inside this building that's capitulated to this system and making them think the only thing they care about is electoral politics. And then celebratory politics of those electoral politics. And so they think, well, we keep killing these niggas, we keep lynching these niggas in the street, we just give them a couple more aldermen. They probably figure, hey, we double up the aldermen they got, maybe we can double up the amount of niggas we lynch in the streets. And as long as you black folks only get dressed up when your cousin or your friend or your wife get elected into the office, we gonna still be in this position where they gonna be lynching niggas and saying, well, it's okay, we just elected a new alderman and they black. It's okay, we gonna put a new library on the west side. It's okay, we gonna let a few more black people go to Guilford. Meanwhile, them black kids that go into that library, they gonna let their police officers falsely arrest them. They gonna let their police officers over police the communities that they in. After those kids, those few kids that they let start going to a nicer school, or those few kids that they provide a few extra opportunities to, when they go back to the neighborhoods that they from, to the communities that they from, they gonna be okay with their law enforcement violating their human and constitutional rights. They gonna be okay with their law enforcement murdering and lynching them in the streets. So they'll let your kid read a few extra books. They'll let your kid read they'll put a nicer library on the west side. They'll do that. But what they won't stop doing is making sure that they got police districts by every project building. What they won't stop doing is, again, you think that these white folks can put people on the moon in 1960 or 1970, but they can't stop guns and drugs from getting into Rockford and Chicago? You think that they can stop this whole country down when a virus take place, but they can't stop guns and drugs from being ushered in and out of these communities? You think that they can pack up and go halfway across the world and set up army bases and military bases and take over whole governments and throw down whole regimes, but they can't stop crack and heroin and guns from being pushed into the communities in their own country? No, they benefit off of it, they profit off of it, they incentivize by it, and so their institutions continue to allow these things to perpetuate and to happen. So stop bringing up black on black violence. I want you to find me the murder where a black person murdered another black person, and a black person made the gun he used, and a black person made the bullets he used, and the black person was the ones, was the coroner that was gonna get paid to look into it. The black people was all the police officers that was gonna investigate it. The black people was the politicians that campaign on law and order. You find me the black on black murder where all of those things take place, and you find me the black on black murder where they murdering each other over drugs that black people growing. You find me where all the black people growing coca plants at. You find me where the black people was growing opium plants at in the 60s and the 70s. That's what you do. And you want to know why so many guns in these communities? You go back to the 30s and the 40s and 50s and look at how these white folks were going to these communities like terrorists, bombing them, shooting them, raping people, killing people, and black folks had to do anything, any means necessary to protect themselves. That's how them guns got in our communities. You want to know how gangs got in our communities? Because people was putting together gangs to protect their communities from these racist police. Gun clubs was being put together because these racist police were shooting people down in the streets at whim. That's how them guns got in these communities. So stop letting these hypocritical, ignorant, racist white folks turn you against other black people by bringing up false arguments like black on black violence. More white politicians done been elected over the myth of black on black violence than black people done been killed by black on black violence. I promise you that. I promise you that. And as long as they keep these Gestapo, racist ass, Ku Klux Cops out here, I'm gonna keep this live going. As they usher people in and out this building, how many of these people ushering in and out this building was here after Denzel Duvant got beat half to death? How many of these people made a political action when that happened? How many of these people coming in and out this building made a political action after Tyrus Jones was shot in the back multiple times while running away? What was their political action at then? But I bet they said something about George Floyd. I bet you go through their social media profile, you talk to their family, I bet you they said something about George Floyd. Ain't no peace in Rockford, baby. Food Truck Tuesdays tomorrow. It's nice outside. We done made it through the winter, baby. Let me tell you something, we done made it through the winter. 200 plus days, we done made it through the winter. We outside, this the beginning. That's why I want people to understand this the beginning. I don't gotta be the one. All I need to do is be the spark, that's it. And I promise you I'll be that. I promise you we'll be that. We ain't gotta be the ones, we be the spark. Cause that's what black folks is built on. Not needing to be the one, willing to be the spark. Not needing it to be this generation, willing to be this generation being the ones to push the next generation. So I'm cool with that. I bet you this. I bet you whoever come after us, they're gonna be a whole lot closer to the finish line than we was when we picked it up. I promise you that. Again, we almost coming up on a year since May 30th, where they pepper sprayed unarmed people, where they beat unarmed people, where they ushered out a black police district commander to say that all of these people who got assaulted while trying to protest about black liberation, they ushered out a black person to deliver the news that everything them white racist folks did was, and them Uncle Tom cops did, was right within policy. And they let you know too, they said punching within policy, kicking within policy, tasing unarmed people within policy, shooting less lethal ammunition at unarmed people was within policy. All these things. Food Truck Tuesdays. Tomorrow, Food Truck Tuesday. May 21st, First City Market, Friday. After that, every Friday, we outside. Occupy City Hall, 24/7. We outside. Faustin Guaitigo, murdered in his home. Faustin Guaitigo, murdered in his home. Huh? We just had an Alderman, Bill Rose, come up say he turned his profile picture, put a Black Lives Matter, and I think that my phone started disconnecting, having trouble connecting, and that's when he started wanting to answer questions and stuff. So I'm almost 100% sure he seen my shit wasn't connected. That's why he started getting a little mouthy and talky. But he gonna try to talk about some the election of 4 aldermans is getting us closer to black liberation. They elected 4 aldermans. Weeks after they elected the 4 aldermans, they shot a black man down in his home, murdered him in his home. They shot a 19-year-old Mexican young man while he was running away. But you think electing them fixed the problem? But electing those 4 people, or whatever the percentages of races for any for each little, the most colored people in any type of department in here is maintenance. So right now it's a few people of color in here, that's for maintenance. But when 9 o'clock pop up early in the morning, 8 o'clock pop up early in the morning, it's a real small percentage of people of color once the white folks start ushering in. So that lets you know what type of building it is. Building ain't even equitable, I promise you. I promise you. They got the police here. Look, they got the police here. We outside too. We outside too. They got the police here. Look, now you telling me these police officers ain't got nothing better to do with their time? Think about that. That's your police department. Huh. Food truck Tuesday tomorrow. And closing up shop. It's all types of COVID restrictions just got broken in this motherfucker. All the COVID restrictions is broke. Look, my man don't even got no mask on in this motherfucker. He got his mask half off his face. They ain't following no COVID restrictions in this motherfucker. Political bill, they ain't following no COVID restrictions. I mean, I ain't really here to die on the COVID hill. I'm just saying, that's hypocrisy, that's all. Gotta highlight the hypocrisy. I ain't got a mask on right now. I'm outside though. All right, man. Most of the people done left. The police still here. I know, police still here, man. I ain't gonna stunt to you. I'm tired. I admit it. All right, I gotta end this right. There's gonna be some people who ain't gonna like these videos. That's cool. I ain't really looking to be like, again, I don't care about the Silent Six. Okay, Silent Six, anti-right. We're gonna refer to him as the Silent Six. All right, we outside. I'm done. Okay, May 30th Alliance on Facebook, May 30th Alliance on Twitter, May 30th Alliance on Instagram. Justice for hashtag Justice for Fausto Guaitigo. Put that shit on all comments and any stories. Hashtag Justice for Jose. Jose Gonzalez, Fausto Guaitigo. Hashtag them. Put them in comments everywhere. Share this video. Say the same things. We got episode 1. We got a podcast network. May 30th Alliance Podcast Network. We got the first podcast series on the podcast network. Just got released. Go check that out on Spotify. You can type in May 30th Alliance. Hey, he bumping that new Bieber. Oh, no, Justin Bieber racist. We ain't gonna get into that right now. We getting off topic. All right, I'm finna end this. We outside. I don't know if Justin Bieber really racist. I shouldn't say that. Somebody go, I don't know if Tom is really racist. Justin Bieber did do that shit when he was a kid. We ain't gonna get into that. All right, we outside. I'm ending this.